I'm happy to announce that I have partnered with a company called BetUS.com, where basically you can place bets and all that good stuff. And as you can see here, you go to this particular landing page here, and if you use my promo code TKT for the Clown Times, you'll get 125% of the sign-up bonus. As you see there as well, and you can again use promo code TKT. You get 125% sign-up bonus, and you can win up to You can bet up to $2,500 by clicking this Join Now button right here. So you can see at the bottom, it's bet on the go. You can bet anywhere, anytime on your mobile device. Get your fast payouts, get paid immediately every time, and live betting, which means you can bet during the game, early and best lines. So remember, folks, go to betus.com where the game begins. Now, let's close this show out with some HBCU love. So we talked last week about Johnson, I almost called him Johnson C. Smith, Jackson State scheduling drama, out of conference scheduling drama with Tennessee State making everybody in Mama Tennessee State mad at them. I mean, the damn school president damn near cussed them out in a letter.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if the people at Jackson State felt the pressure and just gave in, capitulated to Tennessee State and the fans for backing out of that game. But the game is still on. Southern Heritage Class is still on, thankfully.
Yes.
And of course, SWAC fans everywhere, not outside of Jackson State, fan base had a ball with it. On Facebook, Twitter, I love the SWAC fans. They're so petty. It's just great. But give me your thoughts on that right quick as to why they went back and put Tennessee State, because you're close to this. We all know you're close to this stuff, but why did they get Tennessee State back on the schedule after they faced all that backlash for?
2 words: contractually obligated.
There you go.
And then, of course, the contract that your monk ass just signed just 3 years ago. Dude, you just renewed the contract in 2019. And now, because of this situation that the SWAC Classic that, the conference has agreed upon, and I find it interesting, of course, a lot of the fans wanted to blame Deion Sanders. I'm not going to be one of those people to blame Coach Prime for that. It's a situation. Whoever's responsible for the scheduling, and I know the coaches do have something to do with it. So I'm not going to completely have them skate off scot-free because of this.
Sure.
Because of course the coaches do have responsibility for this, right? I just found it interesting that we can't play this game because contractually it's so bad for us, and we have this new obligation with the SWAC Classic and the conference that we have to play this game, blah, 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 whatever. My thought was, and still is, and has been proven correct, do this against a conference opponent. You're going to have to play them anyway.
Right.
You can play that SWAC Classic at any time.
Right.
Why does it have to be that week?
Yeah.
No, you just wanted out of that game.
Yeah.
Because you felt as though you weren't making any money from it. And I can't remember whether or not I talked about how much they lost because of that deal. Well, not lost, but they basically earned $6.3 million over 29 years of playing in that class. Not a lot of money.
Right.
And I completely understand why they would have wanted out of that contract, because they weren't winning. But you can't renew that deal without thinking that through. You're telling me that Deion Sanders is the smart person in this situation? Because everybody else within that front office there at Jackson State, with the exception of the coaching staff, was there in 2019.
Yeah. So
you can't tell me that he was the guy that said, you know what, financially we can't do it. Because if he was, then most definitely he's the guy to blame.
Right.
And, I'll go ahead and recant my statement earlier saying that I'm not going to give him any blame, because maybe you can. Because, again, like I said, me talking this through out loud, I'm starting to realize that, hey, he's the only difference maker there. I mean, he's the only difference there within within Jackson State. Now, I don't even want to harp on that. But, yeah, again, They're contractually obligated. They have to play this game. And it seems as though that Fred Jones, the organizer of the Southern Classic, might not be afraid to take Jackson State to task and take him to court for this. Because contract, according to them, was breached. I'm still trying to understand how it was breached, because it's not like they didn't play the game. Sure. The game just hadn't been played yet. They just made an announcement that we're not going to play in the game. It's just more so because of disrespect and the way that they found out about it and how last minute it was. But now they went ahead and got everything fixed. So now that everything is fixed, they're going to play in the game. They're back on the schedule. I'm just intrigued to see exactly, how everything is going to be handled from here on out, whether or not it's going to be any legal ramifications. Because the way that they're making it seem as though is that this is going to be the last time that the game is played, and I'm guessing that's probably why that they're going to go ahead and go the legal route, because of the fact that the contract has been breached.
Yeah. Well, that's something to keep an eye on, to be sure. So it's, wow. That's crazy.
What a difference a day makes. We were just here last week talking about how, oh my God, the SWAC Classic comes up with the deal. Then a week later, Jackson State is like, "Oh, we out of here," and Tennessee State's like, "Oh my God, they didn't even contact us and let us know directly. We had to find out from a national scheduler. And oh my God, what are we going to do?" And hey, now the game's back on.
Go figure that, man. Go figure that.
And to go back to Coach Prime. Oh my God! I understand it's a slow. It's not even a slow off season for football, because there's been so much going on, primarily in the SWAC, that it's not like there isn't a lack of things to talk about.
Right
now, he just recently, Coach Sanders, that is, did an appearance on the podcast. I can't remember exactly. I want to say it was Dan Libertard, and I could be wrong on that. But I want somebody to, of course, to fact check me on that. They probably will. We know our fans, right?
Lying ass niggas, yeah.
But I'm not trying to say this to lie. I'm just saying I saw Leopard.
That's what someone called him in the comments, yeah.
Of course,
not me.
Yeah. So yeah, but he did a podcast recently, and during the podcast, he basically said that he interviewed for 3 Power 5 coaching jobs.
Yes.
Right.
I remember
so
that.
That's been floating out there. Now, for those, of course, who are unfamiliar. And I'm going to say it's probably none of you, if you're an HBCU football fan, we already knew coming into Jackson State that he already interviewed for Arkansas and for Florida State.
Right.
Of course, did not get either one. Now, it was the infamous potential interview with TSU during October, where he came out and said that no, he didn't interview for the job. Yes, there are a lot of people who were considering me for positions, including Jackson State. And yes, I was fighting for my life. So how could I be interviewing for a job? But yet he comes out during this interview and says that he basically interviewed for 3 Power 5 positions. And in one of those interviews, they basically asked him, when can he start? Follow that up by saying that, he told him that he was ready. But they decided to go back into another direction. And to quote him exactly, he said, "I guess God had more plans for me here at Jackson State," which made it seem to me as though this was something that was going on while he was still here at Jackson State.
Yeah.
It's not like a situation where he was done before, that he was potentially on his way out.
Yeah.
So, yes, now I'm starting to believe, along with the fact that during one of his press conferences around the time of the SWAC championship game, there was a reporter there that had never been during any of the SWAC weekly press conferences from the Dallas region. And what school is in Dallas? TCU.
TCU. Yep.
Which leads me to believe now, with that guy showing up in that comment, that he had interviewed for the TCU job, even though he said he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that's for those who want something to talk about. My thing is, with any coach on any level, unless it's a great situation, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, there are no more Eddie Robinsons. There are no more Jake Winklers. There aren't any more Buddy Pughs. Guys that stayed with teams longer than 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get 4.
The money is too great. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And if you're lucky, you might get 4 or 5 years. You might get through your first contract if you're good enough.
Yeah.
And they want you around long enough. So if you can get through your first contract, hooray, you've done something.
Yes.
That's why I'm telling people, I'm not surprised if anybody leaves to go anywhere. We're already looking at Tyrone Wheatley potentially leaving Morgan State to go to Denver to be the running back.
I think it's a done deal. I think it's a done deal.
There you go. Right.
It's a done deal. Yeah.
I just heard that, he was being heavily considered for that position, and there you go. He's already out the door. Yeah. And I'm just slightly disappointed because I was rooting for him because of his passion for the players there in Baltimore. But I understand,
right?
The amount of money they was getting paid at Morgan State versus what he's going to get paid at Denver. I don't blame him for money.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, right? I get it. But yeah, it's the nature of collegiate sports anywhere that no one's guaranteed to stay anywhere long periods of time. And for anyone to hope that anyone's going to stay anywhere for a long period of time nowadays, I'm sorry, you're foolish.
Yeah,
you are, because it's an anomaly for that to happen now. Mm-hmm. So everyone's like looking at their watches, waiting for Deion to leave, and I'm like, why? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's almost like you're pushing them out the door now.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want, fine. But just understand that a lot of the attention that we're getting with HBCU athletics, primarily with HBCU football, we're getting because of him.
Yeah.
Like it or not. Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those guys that originally did not like it, but I understand it now. And I'm dealing with it. So it is what it is. So understand that he's brought all of this attention. He's getting all these clicks on various websites. The thing is, though, and now we've gotten things like the HBCU Combine that happened a few weeks ago at Alabama Birmingham at UAB.
Right. Yeah, UAB. Yeah.
We got the HBCU Legacy Bowl, which is happening this week. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Where it's going to be an all-star HBCU all-star game. All seniors, all draft eligible players that are going to be participating in this game, coached by HBCU coaches. And it's going to be the MEAC and CIAA versus the SWAC and SEAC. So we got that coming up. Yeah, so it's a lot of things that have been going on in this year with HBCU athletics, again, primarily with HBCU football, thanks to Deion Sanders. And the thing is, I'm wondering if these coaches and these administrators, primarily the commissioners of these conferences, are going to take advantage of what could potentially not be here in a couple of years with all of this attention. Are you going to be capable of sustaining the amount of attention when that unicorn is gone?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be here whether or not he's going to be here or not. So it almost doesn't matter to me that way. But to me, in terms of the amount of attention that we've been begging for years, we're starting to get it now.
Yes, and spades.
And spades. and the way that the football season is looking right now, and non-football season has been insane this year, especially in the SWAC.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering whether or not we're going to be capable of sustaining it years after Coach Sanders decides to go wherever else he's going to go. Yeah. Because I don't know if we're ready for that just yet. Because I haven't seen any evidence that we are just yet.
Correct. So we had years of data before the unicorn arrived.
Exactly, right? Mm-hmm. And even with the stuff that they're doing right now with him here, I'm like, is that going to be sustainable when he leaves?
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. So until that, I understand that a lot of people don't like this dude, and I understand that that the Jackson State has gone from America's HBCU to America's pariah, the HBCU pariah, especially within the SWAC, just that quick because of who Deion Sanders is and how cocky the Jackson State fans have gotten during this time frame. I get it. But my thing is, what are we going to do afterwards to move on forward with this sustained attention? Because I'm intrigued to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
So
me too.
It's just crazy that goes on. But
the after effects.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you probably heard about this, that there's support now for Jackson State to get its own stadium. People erroneously think that they have their own now. No, they're renting it. There's a difference between owning and renting. They're renting the stadium for the city.
Yeah.
So they want their own. So there's support out of financial, political, both. Support within the city of Jackson for them to have their own stadium. Again, it's due to that unicorn.
Okay, exactly. He came in and said, why the hell are we renting our stadium?
Right.
Why can't we go and have our own place? And these are all things that, of course, he's identified since being there. Yeah. And a lot of it he spoke on when he first got hired. Yeah. And noticed that, you know what? We're spending too much here, here, and here. We can cut costs here, here, and here. We need to earn money here, here, and here. Why are we doing this, that, and the third? And why is it that they're doing stuff that we could be doing that we're not doing right now? Right. How do we move forward to do so? And it saddens me that it took a non-HBCU alum to come in and do this. Yeah. Why is it that we couldn't understand that within our own circles? Now, I know that there are a lot of fans out there that are saying, yo, I understood that. And I know that you did, because I've had conversations with you guys. I know it all too well that we've had these talks often. Yes. It's just, I'm not saying that the front office hasn't understood it either. They just haven't made moves to prove it to me that they've understood it, but now they are.
Yes.
And it's only it's just ironic of the timing that he's there now, and now you understand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's another that could be a topic for our yearly roundtable, the HBCU
most
roundtable.
Definitely.
And we could spend 2 hours alone talking about. And I'm not bullshit. I'm not making that up. We could really spend almost damn near 2 hours talking about that same subject.
About HBCUs? Yeah, about HBCUs understanding their own worth? Yes. Most definitely.
Yes.
Hell, the tournament, hey, and I'm going to go ahead and shout them out now because, of course, it's going to happen next week. Yeah. CIAA, that basketball tournament. The amount of money that they were losing while they were in Charlotte, and now it's going to be interesting to see how everything happens within Baltimore. And I understand that the pandemic might hurt their numbers. Yeah. But the city of Baltimore, of course, understanding what they've done in Charlotte, is most definitely opening up their arms wide for the CIAA, hoping they get somewhere near what they've gotten, or Charlotte has gotten in the past there, so that they can go ahead and boost up their economy too. And if the CIAA can finally benefit from the revenue that the city makes for that tournament being there, hooray for them. Yeah. But it's already to the point now where there's certain things by having that tournament there in Royal Farms Arena. And yes, to the joke that I saw on social media, no, they don't serve Royal Farms chicken at Royal Farms Arena. Yes. There's a lot of cost saving benefits that they get from having that tournament there. And then, of course, the money that the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland is giving to those institutions as scholarship money, that's a win-win for the conference. Yeah. So yes, again, it's about understanding your worth and acting on that and reaping the benefits from that. And like you said before, that is a conversation that can be had at length for hours on end. Yeah, exactly. So what are the HBCU news you have for us this week? Okay, go down the gamut, go from one sport to another as we're coming to a close with the indoor track and field season. Yes. We had our first indoor track and field championships within HBCUs. Congratulations to the men's Virginia State indoor track and field team and the Fayetteville State women's track and field. They are the 2022 CIAA indoor track and field champions this year. This upcoming week, we got the MEAC. So hopefully I might be able to make my way out there to check out that championship there too. Now, since we're on indoor track and field, once again, them dogs up at North Carolina A&T are at it again. The men back at number one for the second time this year, the second time in 4 weeks, mind you, that this team has been number one in the nation. And that boy, Randolph Ross, yes, that mama did go that man again. Not only did he run the fastest 400 time in the world in the first week of the season, he broke a facility record just this past weekend in the 400.
Wow.
Beating his Olympic foe, Chris Godwin from Georgia. Yo, if you haven't seen that race, it was star-studded. And my God, did he dominate. And I know Chris is going to want his comeuppance at the national championships, which is coming up in a few weeks. Yeah. But I know Randolph is not willing to want to give that up. So again, congratulations to North Carolina A&T men's track and field team for being the best in the nation again this week. Like I said before, this weekend coming up also, the HBCU Legacy Bowl, which is going to be an all-star football game, 3 p.m. NFL Network. Check it out. Also, NBA has an initiative during the All-Star weekend. And I need to check the time on that game. I'm hoping it's not colliding with the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and it probably is. There is an NBA HBCU Classic thrown by the NBA. It's going to be Howard and Morgan State, played outside of Cleveland this weekend. And $1,000 each is going to both institutions, given as a donation from the NBA and as a part of this classic. So big up to the NBA for taking part and holding this game, and big up to the MEAC for taking part in this. So congratulations to the two of them for that. Also, coming up in recent weeks, I just want to make sure I got this correctly. NFL Legacy Bowl, indoor track and field. Softball season has already started. Baseball season starting this week. And so good luck to all of those who are participating in the MEAC indoor track and field championships this weekend coming up. And good luck to all the guys out there over Morgan State and Howard participating in the NBA HBCU Classic. And God, Woodbury, I can't remember Woodbury's first name, but he is one of the assistant coaches for the Los Angeles Rams, who of course won the Super Bowl ring, and he is a Winston-Salem State alum.
Oh wow.
Let me see if I can find out who he is. But when I'm looking for him, shout out to Greg Biffle.
Yes, that was cool. That was Biffle. Dope. What you're doing. But go ahead.
Greg Biffle, NASCAR driver, longtime NASCAR driver, NASCAR vet. This weekend at Daytona 500, will be driving his infamous 44 car, which is painted with Grambling State University colors.
How did that come about?
God, I did not see exactly how that came about. But I just saw on I didn't see the exact details. I just saw on Grambling social media that he will be driving the car this week at Grambling for New York Racing Company. And so hopefully he qualifies and gets a chance to drive that car at Daytona. So yes, Torrey Woodbury. I knew that his name started with a T. Tony is currently a scout with the LA Rams. So yes, congratulations to him for winning a Super Bowl there with the LA Rams.
Nice. Awesome. And by the way, not that beggars can be choosers, but I need the NBA in the future to up those donation totals to the participating institutions.
Oh, most definitely.
1,000, okay, fine, but you're the NBA. Come on. Up
most definitely, right?
Bit. Up to at least 100,000, right?
No, it is 100,000.
Oh, I just said 1,000. I thought you said 1,000. I'm like, come on now.
If it was a G, I probably would have been able to give it up out of my own pocket. But no, it's 100,000. It's 100,000.
Okay. Well, that's a little better.
Yeah.
I prefer $1 million, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers again. But anyway.
Exactly, right? And to my point, and I'm wondering whether or not this is 2 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Central, because if it's 2 p.m. Central, that means it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern. But the HBCU NBA Classic from what I just saw, it looks like it's going to be at 2 p.m. I just didn't stop to see if it was going to be 2 p.m. Eastern or not, being that it's played in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Let's check it out here again. Can we get this? There you go. Click it. Yeah, 200,000. I was right. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Eastern. So it starts, an hour before the NFL Legacy Bowl. So at least you get an hour in before you got to go ahead and make a decision to watch both at the same time.
Cool. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Coolness. All right.